Hey there. You said hi first.
I said, hey, you.
Oh, right.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Carl.
I'm Latonya.
Sure you are.
Welcome to our conversation.
And welcome to Built to Last.
Yes.
So, today I was on the phone with a friend, and she brought up something that Steve Harvey has often said about men who are ready for marriage and how men are not ready. We won't jump into marriage until we are secure in our careers.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, that's true, generally speaking. And my wife had some gray area that she wanted to share that I thought that I agreed with, but kind of deals with some societal and 21st century issues that, even though they're present, I still believe that God made men and women a certain way. There's nothing wrong with a woman who is dependent upon her man to be the priest and to be the provider, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? And so, conversely, most men don't want to jump in until we have our stuff together. I mean, our jobs, our careers, we're making money, we can provide the kingdom for the women we bring into our lives. Yeah. So I think that what Steve says is true, but there is some gray area that leaves stuff to be desired. If it's operating in any sort of out of balance way on either side, it can be very troublesome for women and for men. So you had a thought about that too.
Well, I think because nowadays, with the way the economy is, with the way, men have probably been in a job or a career for like 20 years, and then boom, the rug's pulled out from underneath them. They may have a real estate business, and with the real estate crash, they're building back. Some may even have to go take a step back, and get a job until they can get their business going again. So it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of us as women, we miss out if we try to find a man who's got all this stuff steady going on, no issues, no problems with his job or his career, and he's okay, and he's I'm gonna tell you something, that's okay. I heard somebody tell you one time when you were dating me, and we were talking about getting married, shouldn't you have all of your money and stuff straight first? Mm-hmm. And see, if I had felt that way, if I weren't the type of woman that didn't mind building with you, only because, number one, I took time to get to know you. I took time to see more than what your potential is, how you and I could be a team. Mm-hmm. So most women look for the financial security. Can he provide? I don't want to date him or anything unless he makes more money than me. That's okay if that's all you have and that's all you bring to the table. See, because I know, I'm writing a book called What Your Mama Never Told You About Men. And what we women who were never taught this, what we have to understand is that nowadays, if you wait for a man who's got it all together, you might be waiting for a very long time.
Not only that, but what happens because here's what got me, because I have to tell you that the big drawback from deciding to marry you was the fact that I didn't have it together. I'd come out of a lot of stuff, and I was starting over again. And it was difficult to pull the trigger until I realized just who you were and how we could be a team.
Exactly.
And that's the real test. And then, where is the balance there, the help meet part? You know what I'm saying?
But see, like I said,
but I understand dudes who want to provide for their wives.
Of course, that's the way you were made. I
understand that too.
That's the way you're built.
Right.
But time and time again, men are gun shy because so many women have, like, I've got a friend who went on a date with a lady, and he's got a little car that has been getting him from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. It's a good car. It may not look the best, right, but he pulled up, in that, and she was like, "You driving this?" So a lot of women you don't want to think you're high maintenance, but you want a certain status. That's fine. You go after that. You should not bother the men who have good hearts, who know how to provide, may just be going through a rough time. You see what I'm saying? If you can't be the helpmate, if you want him to have the house, the car, and all that stuff before, even if you may have had it before already, or going through a rough spot. See, it takes a woman to learn what she can bring. We always say, what does a man have to offer? But what do we bring to the table? We have to bring support. We have to bring understanding. We have to bring wisdom. Because if all you want is a man who's got everything together financially, you may be getting ready to settle for all of that for a man who's going to, show up later. The representative shows up first with the money. And then the real man shows up later with the anger and the bad temper and what you're going to have to deal with.
I mean, we all have.
You really have to be smart. You really have to be wise. You got to be able to see a person's heart. You got to be able to see they're not sitting on the couch all day doing nothing.
Right.
Some men really have a hustle going on, and they need somebody who can be understanding. And you will really miss out on a gem if you can't see that.
You're a personal gem. I mean, because as you know, one woman's broke ass is another woman's Boaz.
So I mean, there are some men who can be that way. Just bums looking for but there are women who are doing the same thing.
Right. Well,
no. Okay. But that's all we needed to say, because we're trying to keep it short.
There's one thing that I want to say, though, into the societal part, was that, you mentioned about coming to the 21st century.
Yeah.
Right? And, there's a lot of guys doing a lot of great things, for sure, who can afford to provide for 4, 5, 6 wives, and then some, because they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not that I'm suggesting bigamy, but you get the point.
Nobody wants to do that.
No. But the thing about it is that back in the day, men had all the jobs. Men had all the jobs. The women were at the crib, or they were in government jobs or teaching jobs, but the men had all the jobs. Today, women are in all levels of high-end, capacity jobs.
The ladies have the good jobs.
And they have the good jobs. So I'm not trying to say that it's like, it seems to me, not that, if you are a high-powered woman, you need to find some bum to live off of you.
Right.
But if you are lacking love in your life, you want companionship and someone to just go through life with you, do you really need a man who makes your money?
Yeah, that's a question you have to answer honestly.
I think that both men and women need to try to find the balance with whomever they find love with, to balance and decide and agree on how you're going to operate in your life.
Yeah.
Between the two of you. And I know with me, I'm so old school. I got to have the money. I want to provide for my wife, the house, the cars.
Most men are like that, though.
It drives me freaking crazy when I can't do that.
But it's a lot of men like that who have run into a lot of women who have 500 pairs of shoes and, clothes in the closet with tags on them. They want to continue that lifestyle.
Well, if you marry a woman who you can afford to buy them shoes for.
Yeah.
And she should pick somebody who can buy the shoes for her.
Yeah.
And they can be happy with shoes.
I know. But it's just like, hey, you're not going to find a lot of that nowadays in the 21st century.
Right.
So you're going to have to, it's not so much lower your standards or lower your style of life. Yeah, but what do you need? What do you want? What are you willing to bring to the table? You got to be bringing more than shoes and clothes.
There's a trade-off.
Right. You got to be bringing heart. You got to be bringing support. You got to be bringing respect. You got to be bringing what a man needs, which is somebody who can inspire him to be as much as he can be. I'm going to tell you, we're going to wrap this up.
Now,
a masculine man needs a feminine woman to bring the best out of him. And you'll get the best out of him if you're as feminine as you can be. That's in my book, too. We got to go.
We're over. I'm sorry.
Bye.
Carl
We'll talk to you next time.
And another conversation built to last.
See ya.
Like us on Facebook. Peace.